So the main topic today is beat licensing. We're going to keep it super simple, straightforward, and easy for you to comprehend, okay? The main thing to understand with the beat license is the only thing is the agreement that you're choosing. So the most common license that you're going to see is the basic lease, okay? So all you're doing is renting the beat from the producer. He's giving you the ability to monetize your music with his asset. And this is usually going to be an MP3. The next one is going to be a premium lease, okay? So the only difference here is that the premium one's going to probably give you an extra file. So it's going to be MP3 with an additional WAV file, okay? These two are still under the ownership of the producer, okay? Additionally, sometimes the premium leases include the track stems, which is going to allow the engineer to arrange your song when he's recording you and do some extra changes if needed, okay? Need some coffee, dude. So now you saw all the traction that you're getting from your song, so you might be ready to buy the exclusive license. This is going to be very different than the basic lease and the premium lease because this is a full intellectual property transfer from the producer to the artist, okay? You're becoming the actual owner of this beat. So that's why when you see the pricing change drastically in the licensing when you're trying to buy a beat, sometimes the other ones look cheaper or a little bit less than the exclusive beat, and you're probably wondering why he's trying to sell the beat so expensive. But it's not that it's expensive, it's that he's actually selling you the intellectual property. He's selling his ownership, he's selling his asset. So he should be asking for a higher ticket because he could be leasing that beat. Once he gives you this beat as an exclusive, he can no longer use it because it's officially yours. So if you're still in the building phase, I would recommend you to go get basic leases or premium leases and continue that trajectory of building your catalog. Don't get hesitant, don't start delaying, don't procrastinate because you see the exclusive licenses being so expensive. And understanding licensing is so important because I always hear a bunch of independent artists say that they get beats from YouTube. This is one of the most common things I hear independent artists say when they don't understand the actual red flags of doing so. Number one is that you're not building a relationship, right? You're getting the beat from YouTube and you're not building a relationship with the producer, right? When you have that relationship going on back and forth with the producer, you have a bigger chance to build a bigger catalog with them, have a better relationship with them to actually start going into studios or even having more options, right? That's one of the biggest things that I see a lot of independent artists missing. They just go on YouTube and get a bunch of beats from random producers and they're not actually building something that can last. The next thing that they're messing up with is that when you get a YouTube beat, sometimes you're not getting the licensing. So when you're on YouTube and you see free on the title, the beat is free to listen to it, to record on it for fun. But once you start reading the description, it's gonna say not for monetization. So you cannot technically release the song when you're using a free beat from YouTube. It gets tricky because some producers might not care, but once your song starts hitting 100,000 streams or more, then that producer can start trying to sue you for whatever reason because you use his intellectual property without getting the license, and it could just be a whole headache for you. So usually when they put free beats on YouTube, they actually put the link to buy the beat in the description, but a lot of independent artists don't even know what the heck that means. So they see free, they download it, they release music on it, they start making a good amount of streams, and eventually they get paperwork saying that they're being sued and that the producer wants a bigger percentage of the song. They need to pay them cash for the issue here going on. So at the end of the day, you owe them money. You need to give them a bigger percentage of the song split. So it could be a whole mess if you're not prepared and understanding this. So like I said, I was going to keep it super simple. So we have leasing, which is just a basic lease or a premium. Okay? It's still a lease. The next thing that we talked about is exclusive ownership of a beat. You're pretty much taking the ownership, okay, ownership, the IP of the producer to you as an artist. You can do whatever you want with that beat, okay? It's yours, you own it. That's why you paid a high ticket for it. But this is completely different than the splits, okay? Because that's the purchase of the actual product, of the asset, but a song is still built 50-50, right? Because there's the composition and the lyrics, okay? That's how the music industry usually sees a song as a full structure. There's a composition, which is the music, and the lyrics. So even if you buy the exclusive, the producer still gets his piece, okay? So with all of this understanding, it should make it easier for you to buy and license your beats at a much faster pace because you already understand what you're looking for. If you're looking for beats, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you're interested in getting access to a full beat catalog, send me a DM on Instagram and we can get you started with the full beat catalog access, all right? I hope this helped you guys a lot, and now you understand the actual breakdowns of beat licensing to make it easier for you. Talk soon.